time. This time. Our time. One city. One club. We're back. The time is now.
Hello everybody, welcome to NUFC Talk TV live once again here on a Thursday morning in the United States of America, 6 a.m. in the morning, midday in the UK, just barely now early afternoon in the United Kingdom, the wonderful and beloved United Kingdom, the motherland. How about that? We give you a little bit of praise there if you are from the UK. And how about my Geordies though? How about my Geordies? My Geordies, how are you doing? All the way in the northeast of England. What is right now midday? What would a Geordie do at midday? If you're walking around, what would you do? Would you be having a pint right now this early? I don't even think Americans drink this early, man. Would you be having a Greg's roll? Sausage roll? What would you be having if you're a Geordie walking around the Toon right now? Or just maybe outside having a tab. But anyways, let me know what you're doing right now, what you're thinking about the latest trending stories of Newcastle United. Mac Debates is Greg's, definitely. There you go. Paul Johnson working. Well, I love the fact that you're working and listening to us, to the channel, mate. Appreciate that very much indeed. By the way, we'll throw the links out there so you can come on and have your say if you need to. Now, if you already have done that before, if within recently, then, give the conch to other people as well, so keep that in mind. But regardless, a lot of things going on in Newcastle, isn't it? A lot of things going on in the Toon. Having I like this one, though. Mr. Who was that? Carlos says, having a study here in Durham. There you go. Shout out to people in Durham. Where are you at in the Northeast? Or maybe in England, just in general. You can be in London. That's fine. You can be a supporter of the Toon. Let us know. If you're in London, somebody in London right now, tell me how things are going. How is the London madness at the moment? This early afternoon, is it madness? A lot of traffic? What's going? Is there a tailback somewhere? I'm sure somewhere in London there are plenty of tailbacks. But if you're listening to us, I appreciate you very much indeed. Don't forget, hit the like button. To help us grow, to help the channel, smash the like button. I got my coffee here, that is extremely hot. I'm a bit of a wuss, and I put a couple of cubes of ice so I'm not burning my tongue. Ooh, it's still unbearable right now at the moment. There's people that drink coffee just like that, man. Comes out the pot and they just drink it like it's water. I just can't do that. Too hot. I'm a bit of a wuss, but it's all right. Allison Ray, welcome to the channel. Says, hi, lads and lasses. My God, I wish the transfer market was over. Having a sandwich and a coffee. There you go. Well, good job, Allison. I appreciate that. Having a sandwich and a coffee. I remember when I was in Newcastle, a lot of people just, we would go and just have a regular breakfast with Betsy, and people would just having a pint at like 10 in the morning, 9 in the morning. I mean, what the hell is wrong with Geordies, man? They're drinking for no reason. Or any reason. They find any reason to drink. You know what I mean? The sky's blue. Let's have a pint. Fucking hell, man. It's a special type of breed, I tell you. And one thing I remember very well is, boy, it's all about the timing, man. If it's not, I think midday, 12 p.m., they won't serve you lunch. And I thought that, what the heck is this? This is a regiment, man. I wanted to get some fish and chips when we went to, there was the Senfoot, if I'm not mistaken, that's what it's called, over at Whitley Bay, which I thought was going to be the greatest fish and chips in the history of his civilization. And it turned out the greatest fish and chips that I ever had in Newcastle was from, what is it, Greg's Market? No, not Greg's Market, Granger Market. So it was amazing. Really, seriously. People don't believe me. But over there in Whitley Bay, Senfoot, I think it's called, I had to wait until 12 p.m. to get my fish and chips. Not a second before. And the lady was mean too. She was like, no, 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 no. It's not 12 p.m. yet. It's 11:59 with 40 seconds on the clock. But that's all right. Ni bada, man. I'll follow the rules. I'll follow the rules. Newcastle United. Let's talk about Newcastle United, shall we? Shout out to Brian Quinn, everybody there. Everybody in the chat, please smash the like button. Help us out. We already got 148 people watching. It's only been 6 minutes. So smash that like button. And we're going to talk about McGin as well. That's a midfielder from Villa. That's linked. We're going to talk about that. And yeah, so we're gonna take care of the situation and talk about it. Not all of us drink during the day. They're just alcoholics. Shout out to Toon there. Anyways, lads, let us start with it, shall we? And listen, some of these may be outdated news, so you might keep me updated on the situation. Florian Flettenberg right now saying that Newcastle United have reached a full verbal agreement on Malik Thiaw. That is right now what's going on as far as rumors, and I mean it's kind of weird because I'm never at this point I'm not used to Newcastle agreeing with anybody to get signed. We're gonna zoom it in though. There we go. Let's put it on the screen, shall we? Newcastle have reached a full verbal agreement with Malik Thiaw on a contract until 2029. Negotiations between the clubs are ongoing, but Massimiliano Allegri is keen to keep the player, and the latest offer stood at 30 million euros. Bayern Leverkusen are monitoring the situation as well. So, I mean, first of all, we sent 20 million at the beginning. I think that was going to be turned down always. But the fact of the matter is, Malik Thiaw is a good center back. I mean, I appreciate him as a center back. But the problem is, why can't we just go for Margehi? Unless we've been told, and listen, that could be very much what's happening. Unless we've been told that Margehi doesn't want to go to Newcastle United, and that's fine, and it hasn't been publicized. Malik Thiaw. There you go, Thiaw. Malik Thiaw, and we've been linked with him for 2 seasons now, 2 years. And the fact that we're just going to make that happen is interesting. Listen, at this point, I just want Newcastle to make signings. I want Newcastle to get ahead of the curve and try to steady the ship and try to get back on track and try to just save this transfer window. We are so back, though, by the way. And I posted this on X. Follow me on X at CTA Magpie. At CTA Magpie. Follow me on X. And follow the channel on X as well. At NUFC Talk TV. Plain and simple. Come on now. Follow. Everybody should follow. We have incredible numbers, but our social media is lacking. Follow us on social media. And at NUFC Talk TV on everywhere. Instagram, TikTok, X. What's the other one? Even Blue Sky, if you have Blue Sky. All everywhere at NUFC Talk TV. And you can follow me at CTA Magpie on X. And Malik Thiaw, I'm just trying to salvage. But as I said, we are so back because TalkSport is posting videos nonstop about us, how horrible we've been. Perfect, fine. Some of that is true. But they're posting how horrible, but they're talking about us. Sky Sports talking about us. All the media outlets, sports-related, football-related, are talking about us. All the proper YouTubers talking about us. The wank YouTubers are also talking about us. Bantering us, of course. That's fine. They're idiots. But we live rent-free in their heads. And they see us. They see us coming, folks. You're a Newcastle United fan in the chat. They see us coming, and they're rattled. They are rattled. They don't want us to happen, but they can't stop us from happening. So, although things are not, they are doom and gloom. It's the truth. We are knackered at the moment, but they see us coming. They see us coming, man. It's crazy, isn't it? It's so feel happy about that. But now Malik Thiaw, we gotta get the deal done. He's a good center back. I think he's a good center back. I mean, he's not proven as Margehi, for example, but I think he might get a job done. and we need somebody. So bring him on and scratch that center back off the list. We already got him. We're gonna talk about Dennis. You said talking about Wissa. We're gonna get that. We're gonna talk about that. No worries. And McGin as well, because Craig Hope has posted an exclusive on that. So we're gonna talk about that. And I'm highlighting your comments as we speak as well. So that is the news on Malik Thiaw, that Florian Plettenberg is saying that we have reached a full verbal agreement with Malik Thiaw. And you know, so terms agreed, but we still got to agree with the club. And if the club has him, based on what we are seeing, Newcastle are very stingy for the whole window. So even though we've agreed terms, we still have to agree with Milan, and Milan, obviously, a huge club, bigger than Man United will ever be, and they have the requirements. So if they put in a requirement of 30 million, not 30 million, but 40 million euros, for example, who's gonna bend the shoulder? Who's gonna give up? We offer 30. I don't know exactly what they want for Thiaw, by the way. So it could be 30 million that gets the deal done. I'm not 100% sure yet. Dario says, by the way, Milan accepted 20 million from Como a couple of weeks ago, but Thiaw said no. They want more than double. So there you go. That could get. But we offered 20 as well, but it didn't work. So maybe according to the size of the club, they might change the price. Maybe they'll charge us 40 million for him, and I think just pay it. Just pay and get it done. Anthony Darling, yes, we put up a video yesterday, buddy. Dubravka is confirmed to Burnley. He passed the medical and everything else, so wish him nothing but the best. A wonderful lad, and yeah, I mean, we're gonna terribly miss him. Obviously, we're gonna terribly miss him. He's I think he was done wrong, quite honestly. But, it is what it is. I guess the nature of the beast. By the way, folks, come on, hit the like button. What are we doing here? We're wasting time. We're not, we're not hitting the like button. And that helps us grow. Whether you hate us or love us, hit the like button. Very important to do that in order for us to grow, in order for us to get people to watch us. Come on now, smash the like button. Only 51 likes. That is not good, man. Come on now. You're wasting time. Hit the like button right now. I'm gonna do it myself here. I count for 1 like. Come on now. Hit the like button. So that was what the Malik Thiaw situation, and hopefully it just gets done, man. You know what I mean? Because it's kind of we got to get a signing in. You know what I'm saying? We got to get a signing in. At some point in time, man, it's wasting time. It's depleting. We're going to talk about the Isak situation, by the way, and we'll see what happens today, because that's something that that's interesting. If you want to come on and have your say, you can do so by simply joining the link right there. Call in, have your say for a couple of minutes as we move on. But obviously, it'll be just for a couple of minutes. And, of course, if you've been joining, refrain and let others join if they're going to join, because, obviously, you've had your say within recently. If you haven't in a while, then just come on and have your say, of course. Newcastle United advancing talks with AC Milan. There we go. So we got the latest trending news here. Got the latest news on Malik Thiaw before we move on from him. Grim Bailey saying now from TBR sources that Newcastle United are advancing in talks with AC Milan over a deal for a long-term target, Malik Thiaw. TBR Football understands. However, new coach Massimiliano Allegri is not convinced Milan should be allowing the German to leave. So Massimiliano Allegri wants him, but we are advancing in talks and conversations, which that's been happening for how long now? We've been advancing with everybody else, and nothing has materialized from that. So anyway, and we're gonna hopefully that develops. So that is that. Patrick Berger also mentioning that Newcastle have reached a full agreement on personal terms. So I guess personal terms is not going to be an issue over a 4-year contract, but the issue is going to be obviously the one and only Uh, the issue between clubs. Now let's talk about what people are talking about in the chat. A lot of them, which is this right here, the exclusive of Newcastle considering a move for John McGin from Aston Villa. Eddie Howe wants midfield signing and Aston Villa captain high on short list. So, I mean, we're not going to read the whole thing, but regardless, that's what's happening right now. A lot of you said it in the comment section that John McGin would be a very good target for Newcastle United. Listen, I'm actually good with John McGin. I think he's a good midfielder. A lot of people are not happy with it. I don't understand why, quite honestly. I don't understand why McGin is people complain about him. I think he's a good, solid midfielder. And listen, any midfielder that we get is not going to be a starter. It needs to be a backup for the most part. And I think John McGin can do a wonderful job as a backup. I'm not going to play over Joe Linton, over Tonali, over Bruno. So our midfield, we got the best. That's one thing that we got. Well, by the way, actually, look at Newcastle United. We got the best midfield in the league, in my honest opinion. We got, you can say Liverpool's is close, come close, or we can debate that, but nobody else really. And shout out to Slim Greg Hayes for following on X. And also, we got right now the best striker in the league, which is Isak, and hasn't left just yet. We got a first caller of today, Mr. Corey. Do you hear me, Corey?
Yeah, mate, can you hear me?
I hear you properly, mate. How are you?
Go, pretty bad considering this transfer window, mate, but getting there.
Where are you from, mate?
Sydney, Australia.
Australia, man. What time is it over there? Afternoon,
It is 9:17 p.m.
Wow, that is criminal, man. I'm just starting right now. It's 6 a.m. right here.
6 a.m.?
Yeah, you're in the bottom of the world, though, man.
That's it, mate. I'm in the future.
Or on top, however you look at it. You never know. No, but what do you have to say, man? Are you a Newcastle fan, I'm assuming?
Correct.
How'd you become a Newcastle fan in Australia, man?
Oh, my grandfather lived in Gateshead for his whole life, sort of thing. Came to Sydney to get away from the shitty weather, and
Oh, yeah.
you know, he got me on the board.
Of course, man. That's a bad grandfather, by the way. No, I'm just joking. But what do you think, man? It is draws, isn't it?
To be honest, I think it's a bit of a pretty disastrous season considering where we finished last year. I'm a bit worried about the whole Isak situation. I see a lot of our fans saying that we should keep Isak, but I just don't see the point if he doesn't want to be at our club. I don't think a future with a player like that, especially as our star player, if he doesn't want to be at the club, then, you know, I don't really see the point of keeping him on board. But at the point that we're at, I don't know what the options are, to be honest.
Well, the thing is, we still have him. We can't sign a striker, and people all over everywhere just bantering us that we can't sign nobody. But we still have Alexander Isak for what that's worth. Now, as you said, it's difficult to assess what to do. Eddie Howe has basically said you need to train alone until we sort something out. I don't know. I don't think they have spoken to each other yet.
That's the thing that we're less than 8 days away from the season, and if our star striker hasn't been training with the squad, it's concerning, to be honest. I don't see the fluidity, especially if he hasn't been in training. And then, you know, if I think he comes back into the camp, he's really going to affect the other players, you know, who are dedicated. Bruno, Joe Linton, like, I think it's a bigger effect than most of our fans are, you know, realising. Someone who doesn't want to be at the club, that, you know, that doesn't trickle down to just him. That affects the other players, that affects our big signings. And then I know it's disastrous without having him there, but at the same time, I think his mentality at the moment, it's a bit concerning, to be honest, going into a season as big as this season is, Champions League football, just coming out of a silverware. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I guess we're trying to get some signings. Malik Thiaw seems to be the one that's going to come in soon. I guess we've agreed terms, but we still got to agree with Milan about it for it. And but I mean, I don't even know why we didn't go for Mark Gahey, for example. That would have been, to me.
Well, see, that's the biggest thing I'm concerned about. I feel like everyone we've gone after either does not want to come to the club, or, I just get this strong sense of that all of the targets that we're going after, for whatever reason, do not want to join the club. We've got so many rejections now. And yeah, it's just a bit concerning. We're a week away and we've only signed Delenga and Ramsdale. I just don't think we've got
Yeah.
the depth to have a season like we're about to go into.
No, not at all. And that's why. But I don't know if you watch the channel often, but Mighty Wayne. I don't know if you know Mighty Wayne.
Yeah,
He's a delusional. He's deluded. He thinks that we're fine because we still got the same team. No, we're not, because we are adding a huge tournament on our schedule, and we still got the same team. We barely made it last season. I don't think that we're. Some fans are underestimating.
What happens if Sandro gets an injury? What happens if Guimaraes gets an injury? That's the season. We've got great quality, but the quantity is nowhere near what we need. We're two injuries away from a disaster of a season. You see Manchester United, the squad that they had last year was an incredible squad. And they finished 16th. I truly believe that we could be in a position at the end of the season where we could be lower at the table with 2 or 3 injuries, especially with all the games in the group stages. It's a big worry.
Yeah, for certain. All right then, mate. Well, I appreciate you for joining us. Listen,
All right, brother. Good to talk to you. Take care.
I will. I'll tell you what, you're pretty good, man. I don't know if you want to join our fan forum on WhatsApp. If you got WhatsApp.
Yeah, for sure. I'd love to get involved with the channel a bit more.
Okay, no problem, man. So I will send you a link. Let me see. Just get back on the chat. I will send you a link. Actually, do you see a chat right there on your screen somewhere? Like a chat bubble.
The private chat or the comments?
Yeah. Well, private chat. Yeah, that would be private chat.
Okay, beautiful. I'll have a look at it.
And we'll put you in the back and in the background there. Just stay right there in the private chat. I'll send you a link that you can join our group chat and go from there. How about that?
Legend, Chrissy. Appreciate it, mate.
Yeah, buddy. No worries. Thank you very much indeed, Mr. Corey, for joining us tonight this morning.
Thanks,
all right.
brother.
So that is that. McGin joining us. That's what the rumor is, really. So there you go, Corey. I just sent you the link right there on that private chat. Join that one on WhatsApp. If you can see it, let me know. But John McGin, I think he'll be a good backup, if anything, for the for our midfield. We got the best midfield in the world. We don't always need, we don't always need the best players. There we go. Corey's in, and you've been accepted, buddy. There you go, mate. So Corey's been on the group chat, and we're gonna go from there. Corey, we can get a lot of good ones to join us now. A lot of good talking, folks. So if you want to come on, have your say, there's a link in the chat. You can vent your spleen, as some Geordies would say. So please do that. Let me know what you think about John McGin. Somebody was saying that he would be amazing. Prakash Patel says, why don't we go for Eze? Well, I mean, that is true. Why don't we go for Eze? I mean, I've actually been thinking about that. Why don't we go for Eze? I mean, he's a winger, obviously, but he can play as a 10. I've seen him play on the right as well a lot of times. But wouldn't that be adding more to our attacking? Is one of our attacking players? That would be lovely. That would be amazing. Why wouldn't we just try to do that? But it almost feels like, ladies and gents, 313 people watching. Come on, smash that like button. We're taking too long to do that. Hit that like button. Why couldn't we go for Eze? I'm not dying for Eze, but I'm just saying, if we need to make a statement, Eze is just out there floating around. Arsenal seemed like they were involved, but they're not really doing much about it. So why couldn't we? Double Lions says, well, I think you should go for Hendrick. He needs to be loaned out. Real Madrid says that they're not gonna, or Xavi says that he's not gonna give him a lot of time this season. He needs to be loaned out. Why wouldn't we bring him in so he can have an opportunity? I would do that. I would do that. Slapping says McGin is way too old. No sell-on value in a couple of years. Again, Slapping. We don't need. We're not a selling club, mate. Our focus is not to sell. Our focus is to win games. And if we can get games, if we can get our, whatever we pay for McGin, which is, I think, I read £15 million or something like that. If we can get a quality backup midfielder, we're not going to make money off of everybody here. If we're trying to build a squad where we make money out of everyone, then we're knackered. So we got a lot of players that we can make money off if indeed we need. Which, by the way, I don't think we need to. We don't need to be selling our best players, but we need depth. Right now, we are going into Champions League, FA Cup, Carabao Cup, Premier League. We need a long squad that can perform. We don't need to focus on selling in the next 2 or 3 years. And McGin is a squad player. I think he can do a job. I've watched him play for Aston Villa. This McGin guy, he can run. He can run. Listen, get McGin in. At least it alleviates a little bit of the pressure from Bruno, from Tonali, from Joe Linton. Get Thiaw in. And listen, he might start, actually, Thiaw. We don't know yet. But he's certainly going to fight with Byrne, with Shaw, with Botman. I wouldn't mind another center back, by the way, because Botman, we don't know yet. But Steve says we need a center forward first. Yeah, but you got to be able to do those multiple deals at once. If we worry on one deal at a time, we are
knackered.
We can't just do one deal at a time. We got to be able to multitask. Mighty Win can multitask. I can. You see how I was doing? I was bringing in Corey. I was sending them the link. I was chatting. We got to be able to multitask. In today's world, if you want to be efficient, you've got to multitask. So Matthew Bowman says 100 likes. Come on now. Give us more likes now. 112 likes. 351 people watching at the moment. Smash that like button. By the way, after this, if you are a neutral fan, if you're a Premier League fan, after this, we're going to redirect you to RCM Football, our second channel for Premier League content, where we update you on the Nico Jackson situation if you're a Chelsea fan, on the Sesko situation if you're a Man United fan, and also on Baliba, Man U on Baliba now. So we're going to talk about all that in the next video that we're going to redirect you to after this show. So stay tuned to that one. RCM Football on YouTube. Subscribe to it. All the links in the description below. You can do all of that. Listen, before we get to the Isak situation, we have money to hijack. Eze says, I lost that comment quickly. Patel, imagine if we get into a bidding war with Arsenal now and we lose against Arsenal. Fucking hell. I mean, that would be listen, man, that would be that. I would just say I'm done. If we get into a bidding, we got into a bidding war with Liverpool. We got into a bidding war with Man United. We got into a bidding war with Arsenal and we lose. We are knackered. Now listen, I don't think we got into the Mbeumo situation. We messed up on Joao Pedro. We knew he wanted to go to Chelsea from the get-go, and we still finding around. So we didn't lose that battle. We were just numpties that lingered around hoping that he'll change his mind. We didn't lose the battle. We didn't bid for Mbeumo. We literally went to Mbeumo. Are you interested in? I'm only going to Man United. No matter if anywhere else. Okay, perfect. We're going. We didn't lose against him. We didn't get rejected by Mbeumo. We got rejected by Ekitiki. We got rejected by Sesko. Those are the two, and big ones. Big ones. They're going to make the headlines. That's fine. Anyway, so let's go with comments, shall we? Let's go with some comments here. And a lot of comments that you guys are bringing up. So smash that like button. Come on, folks. We got a long way to go now on this show. We got a lot to talk about. Lee McFarlane, Kenny Fish and Chips in South Shields. Maybe next time, Chris. I will certainly. And I'm looking already. And the next time I'm going to the Toon. And I will visit London as well. I got to London Airport, Heathrow, man. And I was like, that's enough of London for me. Man, it was nonsense. But I will give it a try because I do want to go to Buckingham Palace. I'm a big royal guy. I'm a royalist. I want to go to Buckingham Palace. I want to go to see all the stuff. So I will do that. I wish I would have done that when the Queen was there, but either way. Lee McFarlane, Dennis Palakin says, "Is Wizza also coming?" So the Wizza situation is, I think we got something on Wizza, don't we? Yeah, we got, I think, something on Wizza. The fact of the matter is, Brentford wants to sell now. They're open to sell. But it's about them getting a replacement first. And we can't do nothing about that other than just wait. What can we do about it? There's nothing we can do. Toon Army says, we will drop down the league over the next few seasons as bigger teams spend past us. Spurs, Everton, these teams will grow faster than we are allowed. Well, none of these teams really. I mean, Everton was deducted points because they were not following the law. So these teams can't span either. Not a lot, I would say. Fluff says, hopefully lessons have been learned going forward. Anthony Darling says, Dubravka confirmed at Burnley. Yep, we read that one. Let me see. Irish, welcome to the wonderful world, Newcastle United Football Club, where our owners love funding our rivals. Yeah, I've seen that actually. Listen, let me see if we got a new caller in the back. You got to unmute yourself, buddy. Hit your little microphone so you can unmute yourself, and if you can hear me, we got a caller in the back. Here we go. Do you hear me now, Carl? Oh, Carl can't hear me. I can hear him though. But NUFC True says, Chris, if PAF cared about Newcastle, they would make Michael Emilado stop buying players from Saudi and bring him to Newcastle. He was a Chelsea DOF when they were big. Interesting. Irish Assassin. Oh, yeah, that's true. Johnny NUFC, we would be looking at PSG's forward Gonzalo Ramos. Well, that's also. I would at this point. I would. At this point, I would. At this point, I really would. I mean, I think he's a decent striker. Playing at PSG is not easy, although they win everything in France. Carl, do you hear me? Oh, I muted you there for a second. I didn't mean to do that. Unmute yourself again, mate. Let me see. Yeah, I can hear you. Do you hear me? All right, lovely. We got Carl caller from. Where are you from, mate?
We met earlier a couple weeks ago, and then my call was I was in the Quebec
Oh, you're a
side
Liverpool fan.
in the farm area, so the connection wasn't working
Yeah,
properly.
that's
Ottawa,
true.
Canada.
Yeah, oh, in Canada. There you go, man. Welcome to the
Yeah,
channel,
yeah,
buddy.
yeah.
Again. So how's it going, mate?
It's going well. How about you, man?
Well, football related, we're not doing too well, are we? People
Well,
like you trying to
I
people like
hope
you
it's
trying to
better
take
personally.
people like you trying to take our players and stuff, you know. But
Uh, Hey, come on, man. You know the game. The game is dirty and mudded and everything. I don't
that's
want
true.
to
That's
make it
true.
weird because it's the second time we met it, but it's a bit
It's a doggy dog world. It is what it is. It is what it
well,
is.
so it's look, man. I feel for you. I feel for clubs like yours because you're trying to get in, so to speak, in the top six, trying to improve the club, trying to get into into an area where not a lot of have been able to had the staying power, or even the ability to even compete at multiple years and decades, and then here you are, you have the financial backing to do it, but you just unable to do it because of rules and regulation. So that feels a little bit people that are cheating you out of success. And I think most people can most Liverpool fan can understand that, and they have said that. I think where we differ a lot with Newcastle fan, and then we are scratching our head, is that the game is, if you have a great player, most top teams will come for him.
Hmm.
Most top teams will come for him, and that's the game. And the game is eh, whatever the price, as long as there's a team willing to pay it, you
Yeah.
gotta make a deal. And especially how the rules and regulation is being set up. Isak was never going to be a player that's going to get you to the promised land. Isak was always a stepping stone, and I think that you guys misjudge it because of a present success. I think Isak is not the striker that will lift the trophies. Isak is a striker that's going to get you the next Isak.
You think
I
so?
think
But
that's how you
but
should see it.
but you would say that. Hold on, no. So you're saying that, but you want him to be your striker to get you to the promised land.
Because we are already there at the promised land. Like a
But how?
team like a Liverpool, Arsenal, City. And then when we look at another Real Madrid, we're looking at Paris, we're looking at Bayern, we're looking at those teams in Europe that are already at the promised land. They always need to tweak because again, if fair or not, they already created a system, a feeder system for them to always be at the top. We could talk about why they are always at the top, why they're always in that situation to always be feeding from teams like yours who have scouted players, have taken chances of players that they did not. It, just like I said, it's a food chain, right? It's basically a
Yeah.
food chain.
But my point is, how do we? Because say for example, we right now we got I consider the best midfield in the league. You can say yours is as well because you got good midfielders.
Yeah,
And now we got in my opinion, the best striker in the league with
yeah.
Haaland. So what we should do, in my opinion, is add other positions to it, make it better in a longer squad. But it doesn't help us by getting rid of the best striker in the league and getting who,
No, it does help. It does help you because it's no longer look. It doesn't help you if we're back in the old system where we allow the owners and ownership to spend money and until they get to where they need to be. But in this system, is that you can't. First of all, you can't give any all the wages that you want. You can't pay players and fix mistake by just spending money because of PSR rules. So, and then also because it's all based on your revenue. Again, you have some realities that you need to improve. You need to improve your market value in the Premier League. You need to consistently get to top four all the time so you could receive a Champions League money in better
Well, I agree with
in
that.
better
I agree with
Premier
that.
League money. What did you say?
I agree 100% with that. I agree 100%.
So
That's what
so
we need.
so I think what I'm trying to say to you is that eh, the rise to the top I think you're trying to take shortcut, so to speak. I think
Okay,
the
well,
club is trying to take shortcut, so to speak, because you just said it yourself 10-15 minutes ago. You have lots of holes in your squad because you are about to be in two competition and you need more squad depth, and then the only way to get squad depth is that you sell some of your asset. You sell some of your best asset to another club so you could make more money and all of that. I think you should have, even if you were able to save Gordon last year, you should have sold him. You would not be in this situation if you sold Gordon last year. If
yeah,
you sold Gordon last year to us, you would have had more money. We probably maybe would not have been here in this situation. So sometimes you got to find again. You found Gimaresh like I think three years ago. You found Gimaresh. Gimaresh it was a talent that was looked at by a lot of teams. They were just not sure about him. They were just
hmm
not sure about him. But the thing is that you brought him, and then he became $100 million player. So I
yeah.
think those are the risks that you need to continue to be making. I don't know what happened, what changed in the last 2 years for you to not keep doing those kind of deal.
Well, I think that we should be able to do sign players like we did Bruno, even Isak, back when nobody knew them, and we need to keep doing that, and also try to gamble on a few that are established and see
Nah,
if they take us or not. I think you could do. I think we
what
need to do
you're
both. I don't
learning
think
your
that's a
lesson.
rule.
You're learning your lesson right now. And
Well,
Buemo,
listen.
I'm
No, we did.
listening.
We never went for Embuemo though. We never went for Embuemo.
You don't
We
think so, Cunha?
no, we never. No, we never went for Cunha either. We didn't go for them. We didn't go bid for them. We approached and see if they were available, and they chose other clubs before anything was done. So that's not
Well,
really, It's Embuemo declined everybody, not just Newcastle. He wanted to go
yeah,
to
yeah,
Man
yeah, for
United.
sure.
So and
Tottenham.
the only I would say probably three players, if you will, that we have lost the battle on. One unnecessarily against with Joao Pedro because we knew he went to Chelsea anyway, and we still there for no reason. So that is one, and then Eddie and then Sesko. So those are the two that you can say that we got. That's why we're going viral at the moment because we're being rejected. And listen, it is what it is. We'll see. I think right now our transfer strategy is not fit for purpose at all. So I'll agree with you on that. There's no denying that Newcastle is just they don't know what they're doing at this point.
Yeah.
It's
The
it,
last piece of this is that also is how you handle Isak. There's never a blueprint to to get a player out of your out of your club, or a player who wants out of your club, because it's always messy, especially when you that player has tremendous value for you. Liverpool fans, we all big club can sometimes be hypocrites, but there's always a way to do it. There's always a way
well,
to do it, and what has happened is that it has created such a negative energy around your club, um, a because a because again, whether you believe Isak Camp or not, that he asked to leave a year ago. He talked about this a year ago. Whether you believe him, whether you believe a Newcastle was blindsided about this whole thing, or Newcastle was
well,
where what?
but it does matter though. The way you conduct yourself does matter. I mean, if Isak would have said, "Listen, at the end of this, I would like to explore my options. Please sell me to if Liverpool comes in, I want to go there." It would have been different than him.
Based on him, he said that. Based on him,
Well,
he said that.
there's
Based
nothing
on
else.
his camp.
There's
That's what
nothing.
I'm saying is that it's a he said, she said. He
eh,
said, she said type of
You don't
situation.
you don't go rogue and stop working when you're contracted. If you what happens if you working and you just say no, I want to go somewhere else. I'm not going to show up to work. You don't get paid,
I,
right?
I agree with
You
you,
get
but
fired.
also we're looking at it from the point of view of the employer. But if the employee said to you months ago, hey, I'm thinking of I want to move on. I want to move on. Find a replacement for me as soon as possible. And you have not heed those comments, or you have thought, oh, you could just convince them to stay. And then now, when it's time for him to stay, when he has kind of received an offer from a different employer, and then you tell him, no, you can't go. You can't go. It becomes a butting heads. So I think
Well,
to conclude, what I'm trying to say to you is that when you have situation like that, you sit down with the player and said, look, how serious you go back and say, how serious are you about this move, for you to move? And then if the player tells you, yes, I'm serious, you give him option. You said, look, sign a contract with a release clause. We'll let you go in a year from now. If that's not an option
well,
you want, then
I
sit down, train, and then once we get someone in, we'll do that. But the thing is, it's too messy, because from the moment he said he wants to go, all you did is that all basically you
well,
said
first of
he
all,
ain't going, he ain't going, he ain't
well, we're
going.
gonna well, listen, we're gonna. I think we're not just going to move on what the player wants. We're busy in Asia somewhere doing preseason, preparing for the season. You know what I'm saying? So when he was here, he was doing, or he was in Newcastle, he was doing whatever he wanted. And but it is also the club's prerogative and the manager's prerogative to say you've done what you want, train alone, and we'll talk about it when I feel like it. Because he went
Sure,
and did his own thing.
sure,
Now,
because he's under
now
contract.
they're going to get into a point where they're going to have to discuss things, and I do agree. I think we should give him another year, upgrade his contract, make it easy for him if he wants to leave at the end of the season. But we cannot jeopardize ourselves just
Yeah,
because he
but
wants
he
to go to
has to be
Liverpool.
willing.
And
He
well, he
was
has to
not
be
willing.
willing. He has to be willing, but it's better of him to comply, or else he'll be sidelined. And who is that? Who is that going to benefit? You think Isak wants to be
Both of
sidelined?
them. But it's not benefiting you,
No,
because
not
again,
either.
you punishing yourself out of more money, or more money. You're not receiving 150 million in a year from now on. You're not
Well,
receiving anything close from
well,
that. You're not.
why not?
You're
Why
not. Come
not?
on, come
Why
on, my
not?
guy. Come on, Chris.
Why not?
You're not receiving that money.
He's got a contract until 2028. So
Yes, yes, but he's leaving. He's leaving.
we
No
can't leave
matter
with
what, he's leaving.
no. He
No
can't.
matter what, he's not.
He can't.
He's not staying there for 3 years. He's not,
Well,
because if you
if
don't sell him next
Newcastle
year,
hold
he'll
on,
put a transfer
if
request.
Newcastle don't facilitate that, he can't. That's just bottom line. If Newcastle
Sure,
don't
sure, but
facilitate,
you
he
don't.
can't
You
leave.
don't. But the thing is that you're gonna lose out of 100 million,
Well,
guaranteed into
here's
your coffers,
here's the thing.
because of what? Of
But here's the
pride?
thing. Here's the thing. If We are owned by PIF, and they could care less. It's all about, according to them, it's all about what they want to do with honor and everything else. So if they
Well,
feel like they're being pushed and shoved around, they're not gonna bend their shoulder. They're not gonna bend their arm.
no,
Now, if I think
if that's the
Isak,
mentality they have, they're not
listen,
doing what's right for the club.
I think Isak's best chance is to comply and use words instead of going around and trying to do antics that won't work. Because at the end of the day, he signed a contract until 28, so he needs to do what he's supposed to do. But listen, we're gonna continue this debate another day. But
All right.
good stuff,
No
Carl.
problem, man.
I love me a good debate. I don't have an issue with that. But I think you obviously looking at it from a Liverpool fan perspective, so I understand that.
Look,
You know,
we're
you
all
you
looking at it from perspective, but I'm also looking at it also from a contract and even a player perspective. The
But if
player
you,
says
if it
blah
was
blah
Man
blah blah.
United, if it was Man United here wanted Isak, you wouldn't be saying all this. Be fair.
If many look, I to tell the truth, I'm not that I'm not that what's the word I'm not a fan who's closed off to players moving. As in like, oh, just because you have this player, I feel a certain type of way. I feel like, oh, like Arsenal, the moment that we got a link to Isak, the whole thing is don't let it happen. I'm not that kind of fan. If Man United wanted Isak and they can afford Isak, okay, cool, play
Yeah.
on. He's just
Okay.
one player. He's just one player.
Well,
Like,
for us, he's a
you
very
know,
important player. So
that's the kind of football fan I am. I am not that interested in this whole thing. Oh, if you have this player, the season is over. Like, that's
all right.
very dramatic for me. That's very
No,
dramatic
we
for
never
me.
say that, but we're not going to be taken for a ride. I know that. That's for sure. So
To tell the truth, I want Isaac mostly for Champions League.
yeah,
I want Isaac
I
mostly
don't
for
even know
Champions League.
why you guys want Isak, because Ekitiki and Isak, how are they going to play together? You're going to put one on the wing. Well,
Hey
we'll see how
man,
that works.
that's big club. That's big club problem. You don't need to worry about that. That's big club's problem.
Okay, well that's fine. We're a big club as well, and we're telling you he's not for sale. He's
Uh,
not. We're telling you
not
he's
this
not for
season.
sale. We're
Not
telling
this
you
season.
this is
That
how big
he's
we are.
definitely for
But
sale.
listen
He's
to this
definitely
is
for sale.
this is how big we are. Because if we weren't big, we'll be flying him to Liverpool to sell him for
Oh,
150
you'll
million.
be flying him to
Right
Liverpool soon.
now,
Don't
right
worry
now,
about
we're
that.
telling you to your face,
You don't
he's
even
not for
worry
sale.
about the kids.
120 million, we don't need that, buddy. 150 if you
You
want
need
him.
it. You need it. You need it.
Even then, we'll think about it if
You
we
can
want to
even
sell him.
get Sesko, my
It's
guy. Come on.
he always wanted Man United, so we always knew that. But we went in there and tried. And actually, if it's about money, we according to every report, we offer more money than anybody else. So
Yes, of course. Of
it's not
course you did. Of course you did.
it's
The
not
only way
about
for
money
you to
then.
get him.
It's not about money then. So listen, we got Isak in the ranks. I know that's burning you inside, but we got Isak in the ranks.
Not really.
He ain't
Not
going.
really. Not
And
really.
if we don't make it happen, he ain't going anywhere. But look,
Man.
we'll go,
Look,
we're gonna
he's
end it
coming
there, man.
either this year, next year, whatever. He's
we
coming.
we shall see. One thing
It's
for
not we
sure
shall
is
see. It will happen.
one thing for sure is you might get him for free, guaranteed in 2028. So stay tuned for that one. But
Sure,
that's
sure.
one thing that's guaranteed. Anyway, Carl, we'll leave it there, man. Appreciate you coming on
All right.
and then
Have a
having a
great day,
good
man.
debate. We'll have a good one, man. Take care. Bye bye. That was Carl there, Liverpool fan. Listen, that's fine. It is what it is, and everybody's got the perspective on it, and how they feel about the current situation. But I think that Newcastle at this point they hold the cards. It's just plain and simple. They got the man under contract, so I think that if Isak wants to leave, it's for the best interest for him to comply and act reasonable with the club. Now, if he still says I don't want to do, it's Liverpool or I'm not playing, then that's not the right attitude. Newcastle United at this point are willing to give up the 150 million or whatever the valuation is to make a point. And quite honestly, I'm all for that. And that's not for the betterment of the club. We'll see. We got money now, so we got money. Money is not the problem at the moment. It's about who's handling the money and who's handling the transfers. Who's not obviously competent enough. Eddie Howe and Steve Nixon. They're simply recruits. They're not to be dealing with major dealings like this. That's why Jamie Rubin had to come in, and he couldn't get the Sesko deal done, but we were pretty much there. So it's all about that. Anyway, folks, hit the like button. We got 158 likes. Please get us to 200. Really easy. Come on now, 200. Come on now, do that. Hit the like button. Help us reach more likes. Get us to 200. We certainly need that. Talking about Isak's situation, obviously we already been kind of talking about discussing this. And if you want to come on and have your say, you can do that. The link is pinned in the chat. You can come on and have your say for a few minutes as we discuss the latest trending stories of Newcastle United. So anyway, Alexander Isak and Eddie Howe are set to sit down and hold talks over his future. That's something that is going to happen. It hasn't happened yet. Eddie Howe at this moment has said, we're having a family thing. You train on the side. I'll talk to you when I feel like it. And listen, I don't have an issue with that. I think he needs to feel the cold shoulder. Right now, Isak has not seen his teammates, has not trained with his teammates. Whenever he got into the training ground, his teammates were leaving already. So he's feeling the cold shoulder. He's in the middle of nowhere because now Liverpool are linked to going for this kid over there. What's his name for PSG? I forgot his name now. But anyway, there's a winger from PSG. A lot of money. He costs a lot of money. So people are saying that if they get him, they cannot get Isak. So, and quite honestly, it would make no sense. Barcola, that's his name, Barcola. And if that happens, obviously that's if they get Barcola, if they get Ekitiki, if they got Verts, if they get Isak, we need to do a serious investigation in there because as much as they haven't spent in a few windows, and I agree with that. Man, where are they getting all this money from? How much? I know Liverpool's a big club, but they've generated that much that they can pay, close to $1 billion in players, and on top of that, their salaries. Come on now, there's something not going on, something wrong going on around here, and so they're saying now the Barcola in Isak is out. So Isak now is in the middle of nowhere. That's why the problem with Isak, the way he's acted, that's the problem now. Because you act badly towards your team, and what happens when things don't go the way you want them to, and now you got to come back and play for Newcastle? How is that going to happen? How is that going to work for you? So thank you very much indeed, Jordy Z, for sending in a super chat, man. I appreciate you very much, everybody. If you want to super chat, you help support the channel, you're welcome to do that. I would kindly appreciate it if you can. You can do that on the dollar bottom right-hand side corner. Hit the $sign and follow the steps. Jordy C sending us £2. He says, Isak's goal might earn us $100 million this year in Champions League. There you go. See, people only talk about the money that you get for a transaction instead of what you actually get the players for to play on the pitch and how that helps you earn money. Very good, Jordy C. Because again, the McGin situation, people say, now he's too old, we can't sell him. We don't need to sell him. We don't need to sell everybody. McGin can come in, do a job, and he'll be worth whatever we pay for him. Now, Isak, of course, a lot more because he scores a lot of goals and he'll do a great job. I think Isak will have a tantrum, will be upset in the first, 2 weeks, if that. But after that, he's going to say, I have to look after myself. And I have to score goals for myself. And I have to continue to develop my career because football, you're only as good as your last game, as your last season. And if he's sidelined, if he is not scoring goals, not even Liverpool, as much as they want him now, will sign him next season. Right? So let's be honest here. He needs to maintain his level in order for him to maintain what he's worth. And you can tell him, listen, we'll give you from 120, we'll make it 250. You get paid a lot of money and a greatly improved contract. And at the end of the season, you can leave for $120 million. We'll lower the price. You can leave. But also, he can, if he has a great season, he can attract bigger clubs than Liverpool. We're talking about doggy dog world and where we are in the pecking order. Well, Liverpool is still part of that pecking order, and there are clubs that are much bigger than them. So if Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern Munich come for him, then he would choose them. I guarantee you he would choose Barcelona over Liverpool, Real Madrid over Liverpool. And it's very likely that those teams will need a striker at the end of the season. Trust me. So if he performs well and does well in the Champions League, who knows? right? So I think there's ways to go back around this whole situation, and I don't believe this whole thing about Liverpool is going to get him no matter what, and Liverpool holds all the cards. No, he doesn't. The player. This is the thing I was reading on social media, by the way. People saying, "Oh, the player will hand in the transfer request, and then that's it. He's leaving." What the hell? He's already technically handed in a transfer request by saying he wants to explore his options. A transfer request is nothing just than an informal way. A formal way of saying I want to leave. That doesn't mean that the club is forced to sell him. Doesn't mean that. So, people want to get into the semantics of it. A transfer request doesn't mean nothing more than just a written paper saying he wants to leave. That's it. That doesn't mean that the club needs to sell him, will sell him, or guarantee that he will sell him, or that we will sell him. Anyway, I need a coffee there. I'm getting a little bit under weather here. Yahoo says, truth is, Isak is going to Liverpool no matter what. It's a pure fact. Why bicker? It's a done deal, lads. Okay, well, I'm glad you know what's going to happen. And we got to explore that Vert situation, buddy. We got to explore that Vert situation. People, and by the way, I noticed that's the only player you hold on to. So, yeah, you might get a player here and there, but I'm pretty sure Bayern didn't want Verts after all. They pulled their offer, if I'm not mistaken. But even if that's true, that's just one player. But historically, let's be fair, man. Let's just be fair. Let's be honest. But you see, you Liverpool fans tell Newcastle fans, we need to acclimate. We need to know our place in the pecking order. But you don't know your place in the pecking order. So you need to also know your place in the pecking order and realize that there are much bigger clubs than you, and they will get the players over you. So preach what you preach, basically. Sorry about that. Images from this is Alexander Isak coming into training yesterday, basically alone by himself in a solitary manner, just jumping out of his car, and even people were saying even the body language, he's a bit not. Well, listen, I don't really. I'm not gonna start. The dude was walking. I don't know. He says it's thigh injury. Some people in the chat are not believing that. And so it's I don't know. I'm not gonna dwell too much on the fact that he's his body language. He just got out of his car, but listen, he is training alone. We'll see what their latest report is today. James, do you hear me? All right, there we go. We got another caller here, James Cuff, in the building. James, welcome. Where are you calling from, mate? You're in London, aren't you?
I'm in London. You know me. Come on, Chris.
Oh, there you go, London, man. London madness. How's London this early afternoon, man?
Cloudy and a bit boring, to be honest. Standard
work
work stuff.
Isn't it always cloudy in the UK, man?
Pretty much, to be fair.
on.
I mean, pretty much, especially in the summer when you want it to be sunny. But anyway.
So how's it going, mate?
Yeah, not too bad, sir. I'm all right. I was just actually calling off the back of the previous caller. Was it Carl, Liverpool fan?
Carl, Liverpool fan, yeah.
Yeah, firstly, fair play to coming on. It's always good to have a sort of rival fan engage with the channel. So fair play to you, mate. But unfortunately, I've got to say that's where my sort of respect ends for Carl. Because I think unwittingly, Carl has demonstrated the exact problem with PSR. And I've been thinking about this for quite a while now. Because if you think about, okay, so his argument was, you've got to sell Isak, get that money in, and then you can grow. You can buy 2 or 3 players. Okay, but then, so firstly, who's buying Isak? Oh, it's a Big Six club. Right, so we're selling our best player to a Big Six club so they can improve. And then we have to take all the risk on a perhaps unproven Premier League player for, it may not cost as much as Isak, but then, that's all the risk is on us. So then if we make a mistake in that transfer market, and if if that player doesn't perform, then we're not going to be able to sell him on again for 100 million to, 120 million, something like that. And then not only have we spent a lot of money kind of getting him, we're then going to be in the problem a bit further down the line where we have a player who's not performing well that we can't sell. And then we're going to be screwed again for PSR, for the next couple of years as well. So we can't spend again.
Yeah.
So this is exactly the problem with PSR. You look at Man United now, they can spend hundreds of million after hundreds of millions, season after season, and nobody cares because they're still within that stupid rule,
That's true.
the PSR regulations. And they've spent, I genuinely can't remember the last good signing they had. I mean, Bruno Fernandes, he's been there for, 5 years?
Yeah.
Something like that. So then, again, they can spend how much as they want because they're, I'm doing inverted commas, big club, whatever that means these days. And it's all because they were decent, 20 years ago. So, yeah, I mean, that's my sort of frustration, really, with everything. Now, obviously, it's been an absolute cluster of a transfer window. Yeah.
Yeah, very much so. Listen, we're coming towards the end of the show, but we'll definitely try to make these shows on the later night, so more people can join. I know you wanted to do that, so we'll definitely do that, James. I appreciate you for joining us, buddy. And you're in the group chat, aren't you?
Certainly am. Yeah.
Okay, good deal. But anyways, we'll chat later on. We'll be live at 9 p.m. UK, so stay tuned for that one. We got a few other callers quickly that we can try to get in before we leave. But thank you, James, for joining us, buddy. Appreciate it.
No worries. Cheers, Chris. Thanks, mate.
James, that was James Cuff right there from London, a Toon supporter. Double Lion, do you hear me? You are muted there. So Double Lion, Double Lion, do you hear me?
Hello?
Yep. Go and have your say, mate. Quickly.
I can't hear anything.
Can you have your quick say? Go on. All right. Well, Double Lion is having issues. Double Lion is having issues there. We're going to have to come back to you. Lewis, Newcastle fan. Lewis, welcome, mate. How you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. Welcome. Hey, go ahead. We're about to finish up, but go ahead, man. Have your opinion out there, buddy. What do you think?
It's just crazy what's going on. We don't know what's going on with Isak. It's just going mental. With all the players, we can't buy anybody and that. It's just one of those.
Yeah, I know, man. It's rather odd the situation that's happened at the moment. But so what are your thoughts? Give me your last thoughts before we finish on the Isak situation. He's not training with the team now, but what do you make of it? Is he going to? Is there a way back for him?
Yes, play for the under-23s for a couple of weeks and lose some pay and then come back. That's probably the easiest way.
Well, he's probably going to be fined and then, get back. If he wants to play, I mean, I think he wants to play. Any striker will want to play.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we'll have to see, I guess, what happens with that situation.
Yeah, before I go
on, man.
I got this 2 days ago as well.
Oh, lovely.
Obviously,
lovely,
it was my birthday 2 days ago.
Looking sharp, man.
And this is the players one, what the players wear.
That's right. There you go. That's a wonderful shirt. I need to give myself one. But anyway, man, appreciate you very much for joining us. And lovely Lewis, another Geordie in the house. Thank you very much, mate. We'll see you later. See you. Take care. Anyways, folks, that is that for the show. Don't forget, right now, you'll be redirected to our RCM football video. This is premiering right now. Thank you very much indeed for everybody that's come on. Go and subscribe RCM Football, our Premier League channel. So if you're a Premier League fan, Liverpool fan, Man U fan, Chelsea fan, City fan, whatever, join that channel. You should be redirected right now. We'll see you all tonight, 9 p.m. UK, for another late night show.